Welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm Terrence Bates. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We also want to invite you to join the conversation on Getter, Rumble, YouTube. I've been in the YouTube chat all morning long. It's really boisterous. So jump on in. Let us know what you think about all of the things that we're talking about here on the show. It's time now to take the political pulse of America. And taking the beat today, well, it would be New York Attorney General Letitia James, who led an investigation against President Trump. And she's now been indicted herself by a federal grand jury in Virginia on a bank fraud charge. The charges stem from a Justice Department investigation into alleged mortgage fraud, including claims that James made false or misleading statements on loan applications and property records. The indictment comes after James led a civil case against President Trump and his organization, accusing them of fraudulent business practices. Yeah, you probably remember that. New York Governor Kathy Hochul weighing in now, calling the indictment against James a weaponization of the Justice Department. That's a direct quote. Letitia James's alleged actions hit a breaking point and finally caught the attention of investigators. Fortunately for us, we are joined now by someone who knows all about hitting breaking points, and that would be my main man, David Zier. He, of course, is the host of Breaking Point right here on Real America's Voice. David, good morning to you. This whole idea of weaponization, okay, probably falling on deaf ears for many New York voters, particularly the Upper East Side crowd who support Donald Trump.
Yeah, Terrence, good morning. This is crazy. You know, the New York AG Letitia James mounted at least 100 legal challenges against both Trump administrations and added after Trump's second win that she was going to go after him, right? And that, like, never sleep until she gets him. And everything Letitia James has done is politically motivated. She has a history of targeting the church and conservative Christians in New York State. She went after a pastor who wanted to host the Reawaken tour from Clay Clark, with Don Jr. and Eric Trump and General Flynn and Mike Lindell, calling it a racist event. And then she went after a guy who ran a church over $1,000 in campaign contributions, persecuting him along with the progressive left in New York state, you know. And what goes around comes around, Terrence, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what a lot of people there in New York are saying. Okay, well, you went after President Trump so hard. So now, what do they say? You shouldn't throw rocks at glass houses. Seems like it's a case of that.
Well, she might have done this twice. In 2020 with the home purchase on a secondary residence, wasn't allowed to use it for rental income, skirting about $19,000 in interest payments, claiming rental investment income on her Schedule E with the IRS, which conflicted. And then in 2023, she might have done it again, saying she had a principal residence purchase in Norfolk, Virginia to help her niece out. And you can't be the attorney general in New York State if your primary residence is in Virginia.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to point out the case against Donald Trump was a civil case. This is a criminal case, felony charges that Letitia James is facing here. All right, let's talk a bit about the New York mayoral election. It's obviously coming up. Eric Adams out, Andrew Cuomo picking up in the polls, but there is still that guy, Zoran Mamdani. He is a factor, and he is, at this point, probably the front runner.
Yeah, he's on a public bus the other day saying take mass transit. The bus only averages 5 miles an hour on the way to work. It was one of those that was easy Hillary Clinton, bloopers. But the city Campaign Finance Board just gave Cuomo more money, another $2 million in public matching funds, as he's climbing in the polls against Zoran Mamdani. Sliwa was still polling at 15%. Mayor Giuliani is 100% behind Curtis Sliwa. There's a lot of loyal New Yorkers who wanted Giuliani. So, if Sliwa doesn't back out, I don't see Cuomo being able to mount the difference, even though his lead shrunk to 16% against Mamdani. But is there really a big difference between Mamdani and Cuomo, who passed all the bail reform laws that killed and maimed and injured so many New Yorkers, and all those deaths in the nursing homes? So I think people are bitter about this. It looks like Mamdani's going to get it at this point. 24 days to go, right?
Yeah, it's coming up. Hey, David, quickly, 20 seconds. What do you have coming up on the show this weekend? I know you got some interesting guests.
Yeah, I got almost my whole show dedicated to the funding sources for Antifa, both globally and stateside, making the connections, the NGOs involved, and how the money trickles down to the paid agitators. And then I got Lieutenant Gubernatorial candidate John Reed, great state, Commonwealth of Virginia, in a close race for that seat. Next week, I'm hoping to have Winsome Earl Sears on.
David Zier, always good to see you, my friend. Have a great weekend. Have a great show.
Thank you, Terrence.
Thank you. All right, let's go to the other David of the show. That would be David Brody. I'm just surrounded by Davids this morning. I feel like Goliath, though.
Aren't you lucky you're surrounded by David? Oh, okay.
Well, actually, I guess that's really not a good thing because it didn't go too well for Goliath. I guess that's not a good thing.
No,
didn't go too well for him.
No, it's called a TKO in the first round
Yeah.
with the first stone. Yeah, for sure. Okay, T-Bates, thanks. So the United States Marine Corps turns 250 this year. RAV is going to be celebrating this incredible milestone this weekend at America's Marine 250. It's a historic tribute honoring generations of courage and sacrifice and service. Take a look at this.
2.5 centuries of honor, courage, and commitment. This Saturday, Real America's Voice presents America's Marine 250. Uncommon Valor, a 250th anniversary salute. From the founding at Tun Tavern to today's Marines defending freedom worldwide. Witness a historic tribute to their service and sacrifice. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Eastern. Hosted by Steve Bannon, Benny Harmony, Brian Glenn, and Jack Posobiec. Join us for this once-in-a-generation salute, only on Real America's Voice.
Okay, my adrenaline now pumping. The ceremony will feature also powerful historical tributes and appearances from top military leaders. You've got Secretary of War Pete Hegseth will be there, among many others. Joining us now to talk about this is RAV congressional correspondent Benny Ray Harmony. Benny, good morning and welcome, by the way, to the RAV team. Great to have you.
Good morning, David. And I don't know about you, but doesn't that video just get you pumped up, doesn't it?
It does. I'm ready to, like, literally on a Friday night at a high school game, run through a banner. But of course, at my age, I'd probably trip and fall and it'd be a viral video for sure. Hey, so Benny Ray, historic celebration. What more can you tell us about it? You're going to be part of the coverage, obviously. Big deal.
No, David, I think it's going to be incredible. You know, we see this new renewed sense of pride for America in 2025. And Pete Hegseth specifically, I want to draw attention, though, real quick. You know, for the past 4 years under the Biden regime, they did not pay attention to our military, from the horrific withdrawal from Afghanistan, the awful things and the awful ways that they have treated our servicemen and women. And just to see the importance of our military to the Trump administration, and Secretary of War Hegseth will also be seeing at this event tomorrow. We're going to see Secretary of the Navy John Phelan, as well as the Commandant of the Marine Corps, who is Eric Smith. So I think it's going to be very powerful. I think we're going to hear amazing tributes from historical moments, and hopefully they'll tell some stories and really make these men and women that are in the audience, you know, really realize how important and how indebted we are to them.
Yeah, for sure. And Benny Ray, I tell you what, this comes at a historic time in our country. You know, of course, we know about what the phase one of Israel and Hamas and that deal specifically, and that peace through strength mentality is just key. We talked about it at the top of the show. I mean, the truth of the matter is you would not have peace in this phase one at all if you didn't have the strength first. I mean, the Houthis were wiped out, quite a few of them in March with the Trump administration. Then you had the Iranian nuclear sites blown to smithereens in June. So that's really what it is in practice. You know, everybody talks about peace through strength, but you've got to have the military do its job and not just threaten it, but actually do it if it's called upon to do.
And specifically the Marines, you know, they are the rapid response. They are the first ones on the ground. They are the ones that sleep in the dirt. They are our real infantry men and women. And so in a time where we are finally seeing peace in the Middle East and the Trump administration is really bringing that to America, it's just truly incredible that we get to celebrate this and highlight the incredible things that they've done.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So I guess it'll be on, I guess I should know this, right? Tell us more about the coverage. It's going to be what, you, Steve Bannon? Tell us more. I'd love to know more about it, and I probably should know more about it. Darn it. Go ahead, tell us more.
We can blame that on Parker, David. So it's going to be great. It'll be Brian and I and Jack Posobiec on the ground. We'll be with Steve Bannon as well. It's really going to be a surprise to all of us. I think we don't really know exactly what is going to happen and what these tributes are going to look like. But as you can see there on your screen, I believe it's from 5 to 8 p.m. tomorrow night. So just make sure you have Real America's Voice on. We will be streaming it the entire time. We'll be talking to people. We'll be getting some great interviews with some of these top officials. So it's going to be phenomenal. And I guess just stay tuned to see what we get.
100%. And by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if President Trump, who knows, the guy never sleeps. He's always working. If he maybe stopped by for a little impromptu, rah-rah to the Marines. Who knows if he'll do that? We'll see. We
sure hope.
All right. Benny Ray Harmony, great to have you. And once again, welcome to the Rav family.
Thank you so much, David. Happy Friday.
All right. Yeah, happy Friday to you. And it is Puppy Friday, everybody. And Gina would want me to get that in there for sure. Coming up, what's the most patriotic way to enjoy a nice cup of tea? Oh, that's a good tease. You know what? I'm going to stick around. I hope you stick around. We're all back in a moment. But first, we've been talking about me being graceful. Zen Jr. also gets props for grace. Take a look. We're back in a moment.